Department of Finance, and I am so glad to be here today. This is my first time to attend an economic forum here in the CNMI, and I'm glad to see a lot of familiar faces, and so I'm happy to be here. I also have my team, my core team from my office, raise your hands, my team of analysts that have helped me put our slides together, so it was definitely a team effort. And so in preparing the slides, I did ask Chamber President Joe Guerrero, like, what should we put on these slides? What is most relevant to this audience? And so he goes, you know, just the collections, and very short. So I'm glad that we have a limit of 8 slides. Unfortunately, I do have 10 slides, but I'll try to be as quick as Dave. So let's just get into it. There we go. All right, so straight into our revenue collections for this fiscal year, 2024. As you can see, we forecasted for the year approximately $163 billion. We've reported already to the legislature our Q2 collections, which was forecasted at $82 million, and we are short at $78.5 million. Our cumulative shortfall there is 4.1. We are monitoring this shortfall as we enter into Q3. And should we be reasonably certain that we might not meet the overall forecast, we will be preparing a revised budget. The breakdown per category of our revenue categories, as you can see, 46% in the first quarter, 45% in the second quarter is heavily dependent on our BGRT, followed by, of course, other income taxes. These are our earnings tax, our wage and salary tax, and other income taxes, personal and corporate income taxes. So that is very important to our government revenue, followed, of course, by 14% in excise taxes. In preparing our budget forecast, it is definitely a challenge, because finding a base year that is similar to what we are going through now was definitely not close to the pre-pandemic years, of course, and so we had to look far back, 10 years back, pre-disaster, pre-COVID, pre-casino, pre-Sodalore, and that brought us back to 2014. We are closest to the 2014 government revenue collections. So back in 2014, that was around $154 billion. Our forecast for FY25, which is the next fiscal year, is around $158 billion, a reduction from our current fiscal year. Oh, great, the Tax Collection Task Force. When we came into office last year, I did meet with the chamber. I met with the president, I met with Dave, and the most important takeaway from that meeting was you must level the playing field. You must increase tax enforcement. And so we did create the Tax Collection Task Force, and since July of last year, I'm glad to report we've been able to collect $14.4 million in tax arrears. That also led us to 113 installment agreements, helping taxpayers come into compliance. And I'm so grateful for the willingness of the business community to want to be tax compliant, and that is why you see those numbers. We have also seen, of course, an increase in tax cases that are assigned to our collection branch. So we are definitely very busy, definitely overwhelmed. But we have the support of our federal partners. We have the support of the IRS. They provided trainings. They have a training coming in next month that will be held in Guam. We also have other special consultants from the IRS helping our team. So we are getting the support where we need it. Okay. This is also one that has been anticipated by many. We are providing an ARPA status report. We do provide expenditure reports quarterly to the U.S. Treasury. That is public information. However, our team tried to break it down to something that's more relatable to this audience and to the general public. So again, just to go over the ARPA program, that was $481 million that was given upfront advance to the CNMI. Of that amount, $414 million has been identified as expended. Our team has also identified what was so-called the missing funds, and we are in the process of recouping and recovering those funds. When we find expenditures that were not necessarily missing, they were just booked incorrectly, it moves from that orange slice into the blue slice. And so it's a matter also of just reclassification of expenditures. What were the ARPA funds used for? This is the Section C of the ARPA Act. And so I just wanted to provide by expenditure category, what did the government use ARPA on? As you can see, our largest expense was on wages and salaries, around $73 million. We have a huge expense in our health insurance premium. This is for the group health and life insurance program that supports not just the central government, but all autonomous agencies as well. Professional services, utilities, repair and maintenance, and of course, vehicles. That is very important to the government. Okay. This slide shows the direct transfers to other government entities for their use during the COVID pandemic. As you can see, the largest amount, $23 million, was given to the hospital, followed by MBA, the college, and the municipalities. This report is ARPA expenditures by project or program, and this is a format that U.S. Treasury requires. They want to know what did we spend it on in terms of projects. And so, of course, if you can all remember the local stimulus that was issued, that comes out to about $49 million, followed by the CUC utility vouchers that were provided to every resident in the CNMI. That costed around $25 million. The TRIP program through MBA, I believe that's the travel bubble program, $22 million. Premium pay to all government employees, that's $18 million. Followed by other programs. The most popular one and in the news, of course, is the BOOST program, around $13 million, and COVID-19 response overall. Okay, moving on to another project that my team works on is, of course, the single audit. It's the audit of all federal programs that the government provides. We are behind, we are catching up, and we are in the FY21 that ends September 30, 2021. We are currently auditing $627 million in major federal programs that include the Nutrition Assistance Program, that's the Food Stamp Program, Child Care, PUA, Technical Assistance Programs mostly issued by the Department of Interior, and of course, pandemic programs that include ARPA. We are happy that we are on target to complete by this June 30th. My last slide is our recent win with the MPLT. Thank you so much, Chairman Long. I see you. Because we finally got it to the finish line, we have a $50 million line of credit to facilitate infrastructure projects that include the DOF Economic Resiliency Center. This would bring all DOF together under one roof. We have the Garapan Revitalization Project, NMC Research and Extension Development Center, NMTI Workforce Career Training Center, OLEI Sports Complex and Cultural Center, the MVA State Tourism Grant, and the 500 Sales Maritime Center. So I'm so glad that we were able to have that kind of financing to support these projects to get the construction moving. So that's it for my portion.